All right, we're up on the tube now. Second down now. 13 here to go. Not much. Miami Ohio stalled out in the opening drive. Quads right here for Western on 2nd and 9. Good motion tight end across the formation. Head off to Buckley. He's got a hole. Buckley getting loose to the second level. Buckley might have one. Buckley's going to the crib. He's gone. Good night. Touchdown Western. And just like the first half, it didn't take much. Second play of the drive. Western is going to take 164 yards by Jalen Buckley to the crib. That's about to make it 23-6. We're earning the extra point going through, but boy, this is starting to get ugly, which I want to go back to that first game between the two. Obviously, it was at Miami of Ohio. DeQuan Finn was playing and had a good game. But 144 yards rushing in that game total for Western. Total in the first time they met last game. And they right now have 212. AI summaries. I'll tell you what, TikTok Live gives you so many weird different things, but good for them. That heads to commercial 23-6. Comment scores. I'm curious what I can do with this. I'm trying to click. AI summary. MAC championship. I don't know. What do I say? 23-6? I don't know what I'm doing. Just make it up as you go, you know. Just hitting all kinds of buttons, seeing what happens. Live Fest 2025. Rising. Power League. I don't know what any of this means. 3.1 million points. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. This is fancy. League D5, top 5 ranking, whatever. Taking a look at the BYU Texas Tech. Texas Tech's in the red zone now. They might pull away with this one. Most expensive roster in college football, I think, actually. They might be. Cuts down up 42-23. Wheaton 35-10. John Hopkins 31-13. Ferris 24-14. Almost halftime in that game. Or Central's pulling away. I'll check the Hillsdale game. Ooh, SEC title. That's tough. Thing I've learned playing football for a while and now been coaching the last 5 years, it's really, really hard to beat a team twice. Ty Simpson, I think, is the best quarterback in this matchup. And for some reason, Alabama tends to have Georgia's number in the SEC championship. Not always, but most of the time it's felt that way. I'm probably leaning towards Alabama, to be completely honest with you. I want to see what that spread is. I don't remember who I picked in that one, to be honest. Alabama Yeah, I mean it's a 1.5. Georgia's a 1.5 point favorite. Alabama though 51.1% chance according to Matchup Predictor. Even money line -120 for the dogs, even for the side. I like Alabama. I'm going to say Alabama wins that one, and I think that game is going to be probably the game of the day. I might say that. I also I don't know. The more I've been thinking about it, it does help JMU if Georgia pulls it off. I think Duke's gonna win. I don't know why. I'm feeling a Blue Devil victory today. What was I gonna look up? I had to look something up. I'm feeling a Duke victory today. I don't know what it is. Something's in the air. Blue Devils are going to get to do it. Oh, and Miami of Ohio was benched Gotkowski. Here comes Henry Hessen, who initially took over when DeQuan Finn stepped away. But now he was struggled through 3 interceptions in the first game without him, and now he is back in. Gotkowski has been benched. This could be interesting. Brunson's going to get 3 on that. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. I'm totally blanking on what I was going to look up now. Oh, yeah, Hillsdale. I coached a young fella who's a split quarterback over there. Eli Boyce, 7-9, 1 touchdown. Had 7 carries, 22 yards. See how if he's playing today. I don't know what this is. Live stats. That's what I'm looking for. 3rd down here. How do I find individual? Hillsdale. My boy Eli has not gotten in yet. Dame Tucker. All right, Henry Hessen, 3rd and 5 here. Queen left. Brunson to his right. Checking at the line. Cam Perry, Keith Reynolds up top on the screen. Brunson's got space. He's going to get it, and then some. Couple after the first, and that's big. Miami of Ohio needs to get some momentum going. They have to score on this drive to keep things going. Western's just looking good right now. Cade Graham, congratulations, man. A heck of a season out of yourself. Say what up to Caden for me. Good old Caden Van Heis. Okay, congratulations. 3rd team All-MAC offense place kicker. A lot of good kickers in the MAC this year, too. That's a highly decorated award. Texas Tech must have turned it over. BYU's got the ball back now. 2nd and 4 here for the Redhawks. Oh, fumble. Deshaunte Jones loses the ball. Western recovers. I'm kind of hoping Miami Ohio makes this a game 2, but boy, that's not going to do it for them. They fumble the exchange. Camden from Western comes up with it. Deshaunte Jones, I think that was his first in the game. It might be his first carry. And, yeah, just the exchange. Run a read option, and he thought Hessen was pulling. Hessen was trying to give it. First time in the game for Deshaunte Jones tonight, and doesn't go great. Western is likely on. They got the Bronco Cowboy turnover hat out. Good for them. Nowhere to go for Buckley there. Jalen Buckley might be having one of the best games. If he keeps this trend up, 10 carries, 160 yards, 16 yards a carry, 2 scores. He's got a catch for 2 yards too, but man, 213. I tell you what, if you're lining up at a bowl game for Western, you are not gonna want to see these cats. I want to see bowl projections. Sweet if I could spell. Following week 14, this was November 30. That's probably the most recent of bowl predictions. See where we have Western Michigan. Looks like Game Above Sports Bowl is where both experts project them. Either you're against Penn State or Northwestern. Be back at Ford Field. Man, watch out. Watch out if you're either of those schools. Western is looking good right now. 3rd and 3 for Western. Lawler's going to keep it himself. He's got nowhere to go, though, and a big stop. That's going to leave him in field goal range. It's going to be 4th and 2. I could see Western going for this here. You really got nothing to lose. It's a 17-point game. 20 doesn't make any difference. Still a 3-score game. Interesting. Starters out at half in SEC championship. Why risk injuries if both teams are in? That's a fair point. It kind of is, but would you say that you think Bama is a guaranteed in if they lose? Like 100% chance they're in? Because if that's the case, yeah, I mean that's a very, very fair point of, why would you risk any injuries, especially with the playoffs looming? I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good point. I don't know if that'll happen. I could see for skill position guys and some front seven, maybe limited reps, but man, I think with the incentives of conference championship, Kirby done lost one QB last year in this game, and it hurt him in playoffs last. That's a good point. That's a good point. No, you make a fair point. I don't know. It would make sense. It would 100% make sense. I think it's going to depend on how the course of the game's going, If it's a close game, I think both coaches have too much pride to just do that. But I could see managing reps, not going to get it on 4th down. That's going to be a turnover. Miami of Ohio football. That's huge. That could shift momentum. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge stop for them. In all honesty, to me right now, yeah, that's fair. Speaking of that, Alabama, Josh Cuevas, might be saying that wrong, is considered doubtful for today. In my opinion, and I'm a Tennessee guy, so I got my. Of all our rivals, Bama I don't have an issue with because I'm a huge Saban guy and one of the most incredible coaches ever. But to me, Alabama is the scariest team in football, maybe outside of Ohio State right now. The Oklahoma loss, it is what it is. But the Florida State game, a fluke in my opinion. I look past that. They look good against Georgia, handled Vanderbilt. I mean, the score doesn't really tell the story with Tennessee at all. We were never really in that ball game. But the Oklahoma game, I watched that game, kind of an anomaly. It was a weird day for a lot of schools in college football. But no, I think Bama's the scariest team outside of Ohio State. And that's where it could get interesting, though. You talk about the home games with teams with buys and all that good stuff. But I almost wished it wasn't until the semifinals for it to be like true bowl games. But it'll be interesting to see. I think Bama gets it done today. They already beat Georgia. It's hard to beat a team twice, but man, maybe it's me and maybe. It's tough to say this about a team that's 11-1. Their one loss comes to the team they're playing the SEC championship, but Georgia's defense has been solid. Georgia's defense is very, very good. It's just offensively they don't impress me. They don't wow me. I mean, the biggest threats they have. I mean, Zachariah Branch is unbelievably explosive. But I mean, I think Frazier's a great back. But Gunnar Stockton, I just don't know. Down the stretch, give me Ty Simpson. Oh yeah, I mean, I college game day, McAfee going with Georgia, getting the fans riled up for that. I mean, to me, Ty Simpson's the best quarterback in college football. Statistics aside, because yeah, if you're reading into that, maybe not. But as far as I mean, NFL projection, Ty Simpson is going to be the best quarterback in my opinion. I don't think Pavia is not an NFL quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, and I think he's a fine college quarterback for sure. He's had a great season. He's a great college player, but I mean, there's a Ty Simpson's just a quarterback that Alabama's been in need of since honestly probably Tua was there, and he hasn't peaked yet, and that's this crazy thing about him. I mean, 3,000 yards, 25 scores, 4 interceptions. He doesn't turn the ball over, which is just huge. I mean, that's a very underrated statistic. And 2 of his interceptions, mind you, came against Eastern Illinois. So it's like, you take some chances in those games. First and 10 here for the Red Hawks. Saw him play in high school, man. Is he from Alabama? No, he's from Tennessee. Isn't? I think Ty's from Tennessee. I could be wrong on that. I think he's from Tennessee though. Yeah, yeah. Which man, I tell you what, every great quarterback that's come out of the state of Tennessee does not go to Knoxville. Yeah, no, Ty's a very fun player to watch. Oh, Brunson's got loose. He's gonna get forward for a first down. I'm curious about my big curiosity is the Ohio State Indiana game. I don't know. I can't place who I like. My heart's telling me Ohio State, but I also don't feel like I really know how good Indiana is. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, look how that turned out for us on the Nico Iamaleava train. I was excited at first when Nico was first down for Red Hawks, big pass down there, Deion Colsey. I was excited when Nico first came, and then I saw him. Oh, UT Martin. I do remember them talking about that now. I think that was in the Tennessee game they were talking about that, which where I was like, man. But yeah, the Nico's thing was fun. I mean, we're seeing exactly who he is at UCLA. He's no different than he was. Joey Aguilar turned the ball over a lot this year and could be frustrating at times, but I would take him 9 times out of 10 over Nico. And next year will be interesting. Faison Brandon coming in. Merklinger still around. Henry Hessen just wildly overthrowing Cam Perry there. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine. I'm curious to see if Ty stays for another year or if he goes to the league. You'd think he would go to the NFL, but with how much money these guys can make in college now. Yeah, no, I'm definitely happy with the state we're in. Um, there's you get fans in every fan base that want Heupel out, and I'm not on that at all. I remember how bad it was from Derek Dooley, Kiffin. Butch was a great recruiter, but 7-5 ain't cutting it, and then obviously the Pruitt era was what that was, and now we got Heupel, and I like Heupel a lot. I do think we need to change a defensive coordinator. Tim Banks, I like Tim Banks. I think he's a fine coach, but he's a little in over his head, I think, lately, and he hasn't adapted with the times. Being aggressive is great, but he hasn't really figured out how to. We can't. He has never been able to stop a dual threat quarterback, which has kind of been our kryptonite lately. Has to drop him back. Got a man. Cam Perry has been all over tonight. Reagan's looks solid. That quarterback that Akron got, I think, is legit. I mean, you obviously want to hope he keeps his commitment. But yeah, I put the tape on of him during the first half, and he's a good looking player. He's got a big arm. Really, really has great pocket awareness. Hands it off. Deshaunte Jones gets a second chance at it. He'll pick up one, maybe two there. Yeah. I mean, if I was Ty, I'd come back too. I mean, you're going to make a lot of money either way. At the end of the day, you're going to make a lot of money either way. Who is the... I want to see the QB rankings. CBS. We'll check CBS Sports. No, we're not going to check CBS Sports because holy cow, that was absolutely horrendous list. Well, Kuiper said Dante Moore he'd rank it. Yeah, Dante Moore's fine. Mendoza, I do. This is the thing I struggle with Mendoza and Indiana as a whole is I just genuinely don't know how legitimate they are. I think we'll get a good taste of it at 8 o'clock tonight in Indianapolis. Just how legitimate Mendoza is, how legitimate this Indiana team is. And they could be legit. They could very much be one of the best teams in the country. Mendoza, yeah, it looks like Mendoza is kind of tends to be the favorite at number one. Which, I mean, yeah, he has to be. And there's some of these guys, draft guys, just should not really be allowed to think about it. Yeah. Well, according to ESPN, Ty Simpson's the number one. Then it goes Dante Moore. Wildly disagree with number 3, Lenore Sellers. Him and Garrett Nussmeier. I don't think Carson Beck. Yeah, I mean, golly. Some of these rankings are unbelievably wild. Lenore Sellers is a fine quarterback. I think he's a good player, but Henry Hassan fumbles a snap. He's going to go down, and you can't do that on 4th and 2. He drops a snap, starts scrambling back, and slides. It's 4th down. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Ty would be for sure a day one pick. It'd be... I mean, yeah, you look at... There's a lot of teams in need of a quarterback. It is going to be interesting. I also think we're starting to get to the point with some of these quarterbacks that, you know, you're thinking about, you know, the Rams. Stafford is obviously playing probably one of his best seasons of all time. He's an MVP candidate. But he's getting up there. That can't be denied that he's getting up there in age. And you got to start thinking about, you know, the next chapter. That Saints, I tell you what, the Saints are not, the record is rough. 2-10, one of the worst right now, but there's a lot of talent on that Saints roster. There's a lot of young talent on that Saints roster. And the NFC South is a mess. I mean, Tampa is okay. Carolina's surprising me this year, for sure. I tell you what's, I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm a Lions fan, Michigan boy. Seeing the Bears being first in the NFC is incredibly frustrating. Our offensive coordinator leaves and then turns the Bears into a respectable team. What's that about? Ugh. And I mean, the NFC North is a gauntlet. I hope you want to see. I would like if Ty were to go somewhere, I'd like him to go to Saints. You'd like him to go somewhere that's not where quarterbacks go to die, like the Jets. I don't think the Steelers is even the answer. I You could kind of make a case. Yes, the Steelers are in the playoffs almost every year, but you could make a legitimate case that since Big Ben, the Steelers are where quarterbacks go to die. I will say I am a little surprised with Cam Ward. Um, Not that I mean, 48 times sacked this year is not all on him, but 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,300 yards, 60% completion percentage. He's working with not much. I mean, he doesn't have a ton to throw to. I thought he was going to do a little better. Cleveland's probably worse. Yeah, yeah, as far as where quarterbacks go to die, I don't know if there is worse than Cleveland. Um, Shador's all right. I've never been super on the hype train there. I like the guy. I think he's definitely a marketable guy, but I mean he's done nothing so far this season that brings the hype. But he's one of those names that being the son of Dion, you're gonna get the media attention, and media attention means dollars in the team's pocket, means more TV coverage. And it's similar like to LeBron and the frustration people had with LeBron. There still is, but especially when he was in Miami and then when he went back to Cleveland, people want to see him lose. It sells. Rooting on people's downfall, TV people like that because it gives them a reason. Still 623. Buckley on the carry, picks up 3. Jalen Buckley is playing with a broken wrist, they just said. Texas Tech also just takes a 21-7 lead over BYU. Start of the fourth quarter. We got 3 left here in the third. Buckley's getting loose. He's going to be stopped just short. That's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Rick Allen will demand a trade. I spent this last season coaching with 2 cats that were huge Bills guys. The issue here's where the struggle with is like a guy like Josh Allen. If he wants a trade, is someone's gonna have to give up some serious leverage to get him. Buckley's going to pick up the first there on 3rd and 1. They're going to take it to midfield. I mean, there's a lot of teams that, every team, probably outside of maybe the Chiefs, maybe the Rams. I don't know. I'd say the Chiefs and the Patriots, Bengals even, you could probably make a case would be okay with where they're at. But hey, we'll take Josh in Detroit. I would love to have me some Josh Allen in Detroit. I like Jared Goff, I do. He's done well for us, but he's no Josh Allen. I'll tell you what, Western's uniforms right now look like Wyoming. And the all yellows with the brown accents. Yeah, and that's what's been kind of frustrating. I'm not even a Bills fan, but outside looking in, he is I agree with you. He's the best quarterback in the NFL, and they just, I don't know. So it's been weird to see with Buffalo. It's felt like this is their year. The AFC's a little down. This is the time to do it. New England. It was better than I expected. I'll say that, but I'm taking Buffalo over Jacksonville and Indianapolis. The Broncos are surprising as well, but yeah, how's Josh playing this year? 2,800 yards, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, been sacked 28 times, He's got 400 yards on the ground, 11 rushing touchdowns. Holy cow. I didn't realize he had that. Wow. That's insane. I didn't realize he was running in that much. Brock Lowry running out to his right. He's going to take it himself. 3rd and 5. He's going to be stopped. They might go for this here. Ball is at 44, I think. They're going to take it to the 4th quarter and think about what to do. That was a great game. That was a fun game to watch. Which I didn't expect it to be a good game. He broke. Wow. That's impressive. And I mean, James Cook is also having quite the season. I don't know. Do you think it's Buffalo's year? Like, honestly, there's obviously some really, really good talent in the NFC, but do you think this is at least? Do we think it's Buffalo's year to get to the Super Bowl? Is this the year they make it out of the AFC and get to the big dance? I'm kind of thinking it is. I just, Bo Nix and Drake May both don't have a ton of postseason experience. Washington fan, I can get behind Washington, man. I like what they're doing over there. They're a fun team to watch. They have an old defensive roster, but they're doing some good over there. Who's Buffalo got this week? The Bengals, 6-point favorites. Ravens are horrible this year. I have Lamar on my fantasy team, which is why my fantasy season is. I went from 1st to 4th. I haven't won a game in some time. Burrow's back. I don't care. The Bengals couldn't stop a nosebleed if they tried. I think the Bills walk away with that one. Who's Washington got? Washington's got the Vikings. I like Washington in that one. I imagine, you're probably sitting pretty if you got Allen. Kyron Williams and Puka have been kind of my guys, but Eagles, you got Eagles winning it all. Yeah, man. I don't necessarily disagree with you. Where I run into, their offense is bad. It is pretty bad. And if it's really bad, their defense is best. Yeah. Oh, okay. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, what's the rest of your schedule looking like? Bengals win. You kind of got an interesting Bengals, and then you got the tough one with the Patriots. Then the Browns should win, and then the Eagles, and then the Jets. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of back and forth end of the season. A family photo. I shouldn't laugh at that, but that did make me laugh. That's a tough end of the schedule. I tell you what, as a Detroit fan here, I don't know. As it stands, I don't know if we get in. I mean, we still got our final four: Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears, and of those four, the Vikings are one I think we do win, even though we are playing in Minnesota. But I mean, 3 games on the road, LA is going to be really, really tough. Steelers, you just never know. It's our last home game. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially being depressed. Majority of my fan life was a Lions fan, and then it's almost worse now that we're formidable because it gets worse. Oh man, I didn't realize that Branch had torn his Achilles. I saw the reports that that was the suspected injury, but confirmed torn Achilles. Western punting to start the fourth quarter. He's going to catch it at the 7. Miami of Ohio's got to score on this drive. Yeah, this is what I'll say about last year's playoff game, and hats off to Washington, is I would rather not have the bye in the NFL. I would rather, you don't want guys to get hurt and all that, but I just feel like it's tough to play. Hey, respect to that, because I'm the reverse of that. I'm from Michigan, Lions fan, and a Volunteer guy. So, my Tennessee Volunteers fandom started when I was young. So, I met one of the players down there when I was a kid. We used to go on family trips down there. But hey, caps off to him. Yeah, it's. I mean, the Lions are fun to watch. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is. I mean, he just tied Barry Sanders, 47 touchdowns before the age of 24. Him and I mean, we have such an explosive offense. It's just frustrating. Injuries plague every team, but we have no depth on defense, and I think our defense to begin with is not great. Hey, I don't blame that. Bills are a cool fandom. I was able to talk to the chaplain of the team back in March, and hearing about how Bills fans in the snowstorms, like not even for games, they do it for games, and that's the stories you hear about. But for practice, Bills fans get on their snowmobiles. They know where all the players live. They pick up the guys, take them on their snowmobiles to practice. Like the Bills fan base might be the best in the NFL. Because it's one of those fan bases that, I mean, every fan base has some toxicity to it, but Bills fans, just as far as fan bases go, I have yet to deal with much toxicity. And no, there comes the pass interference. It's going to be an automatic first. That's huge for the Redhawks. Yeah. Is Jaden Daniels out for the season? Oh, no, he's coming back this week. Starting QB to return in Week 14 versus Vikings. Tech up 24-7 on BYU. 11:45 left. Oh yeah, I remember when the Bills, who was it? Bills and Browns maybe. The Bills had to play a game at Ford Field. Not against the Lions. I think there was something with the stadium or travel or snow or what have you, and they had to play the game at Ford Field. And I remember hearing from my buddies in Detroit that they were the most fun people they had. They went out to the tailgates with those guys, and it was like, this was awesome environment, great people to be around. I mean, Bills Mafia. I want to jump on a table. That's on my bucket list. I want to get to a Bills Mafia tailgate and jump on a table. Shante Jones losing 3 on that one. 2nd and 13 coming up here for the Redhawks. Miami's got to have some urgency. A lot of charity for other teams too. Yeah. No. Bills Mafia is legit, and it's kind of got a similar feeling to that blue collar Detroit, help your neighbor out kind of a feel. Because some fan bases are horrible. I mean, I'm looking at you, Philly. There's videos every week I see of Philly fan base just being crazy. I don't think Dallas's fan base is just Gators. Yeah. Oh, college. You want to talk bad college fan bases? Columbus, Ohio, is a rough one. Because you get some like Dallas Cowboys, their fan base is annoying just because they live in delusion land that, this is their year, and Michigan fans can be that way a little bit too. But, yeah, I don't like Florida. I don't. Of Tennessee's rivals, overall, my least favorite's Kentucky. But in football, it's incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th and 9. In football, Kentucky, the rivalry isn't really anything. It's basketball that it really gets after it, but football, Kentucky's just so bad. Vanderbilt now though is formidable. Got a kid in schools like Florida, man. Why? It's a. I also Mississippi State fan base can rile me up too. They rile me up for the right reasons though. The cowbells annoy me, but I mean, you love to hate it. You love to hate it. Hey, good luck to the Bills and Bama tonight, man. Ooh, cooking some wings. You enjoyed those. Roll Tide. Appreciate you hopping in, man. Go Bills. Pulling for you guys this year. Appreciate you. Appreciate you lots. This Miami Ohio's going to need kind of a miracle here. It's in rough shape. BYU is also in miracle land time. That Big 12 championship's flying by. 5 minutes left there in the fourth, down 24-7. I told you I don't like quarterbacks wearing number 47. 14 to 23, 97 yards, 2 interceptions. 4.2 average on passing is crazy. That's never something you want to see, but I think Texas Tech might have the most expensive roster. That oil money. Yeah, no, he's number 47. It makes me so upset. It bothers me more than Devin Gardner, who wore 98 when he was at Michigan. That one, at least, I can somewhat be okay with because of the fact that it was when Michigan was doing those like honorary captain numbers. Desmond Morgan wore 48 for President Ford wore that when he was at Michigan. But, yeah, 47 should just be outlawed. Check some of these D2, D3 scores. Wheaton wins. Ferris is close, 24-21. That would be a wild upset if Minnesota State pulls that off. Or Central pulling away. Hillsdale in close. John Carroll beats Mount Union. Kind of an upset. Mount Union's fallen off a bit, but ooh, FCS title. I mean, my heart says North Dakota State. My dad's from Fargo originally, so I have a special tie to there. But let me see who's all still left in it. We'll get some score updates from the FCS. South Dakota up on Mercer 47-0. I think that game just actually finished up. Villanova won 14-7 over Lehigh. South Dakota did win. We got North Dakota State's up 21-14 on Illinois State. Tarleton State up on North Dakota 20-7. Prairie View on Jackson State 7-0. Montana State on Yale 7. South Dakota State 14-9 on Montana. SF Austin 14-3. Brock Lowry running forward for a first down. Yeah, I think it's North Dakota State's to lose. They're the only undefeated left. I see a lot about people saying and I'm somewhat in that boat of wanting them to go to FBS, but I don't, if you're them, it's the recruiting's going to get a lot harder because it's one thing when you're competing for championships, even if you're still Division I, even though you're in the FCS, but it's going to be harder to convince guys to come if you're FBS because I imagine they'd be. I mean, who even knows what conference? To be honest with you, you would think probably Mountain West, Sun Belt, maybe. But with how conferences are, I guess it doesn't even matter. They extended their coach 11 days ago, though, to through 2033, 7-year contract. Significant raise, additional money. Let's see if they put the money, how much he's going to get in that. Additional staff money. Yeah, it doesn't disclose details of it, but. First and 15 for Western here in the 28. Brock Lauer's going to take it and get about. Oh, he fumbled! Buckley's going to land on it. Boy, that could have been the turn. Yeah, I mean, Montana would be sweet to win. I can't think of the guy's name. I watch him on YouTube quite a bit. He does the pump pass kick challenge. He used to be a kicker at Montana. Go Bills! Go Bills. Hey, we're just having a long Bills conversation. Is Bills fan, I presume? Are we talking Botkin, I think? Yeah. Yeah, no, he's got. I love watching his videos, but I've kind of fallen a fan of Montana lately just because of that. Still 6:23 here. 9:45 and counting. 3rd and 8 here for the Broncos. If you're the Red Hawks, you need to stop and a score. You gotta make something happen. Lowry's gonna take one deep, incomplete, and that's gonna force a punt. You know, I mean that's fair. Yeah, kicking. It was the Giants kicker, I believe, that kicked the ground this week. But it is interesting. There's a lot of those YouTube guys that kick really well, and I think they do. They're incredible talents. It's just interesting to see. It's such a spot. It feels like NFL teams don't want to really risk on. Texas Tech scores again, up 30-7 now. 7:03 in the fourth. Okay, so now it's. I don't know. This time has gone back and forth on me, but Miami's got the ball. 9:25 to go when they come back from break. Texas Tech 31-7. Tell you what, as a Vols fan, kicking is the death of me. We were a regulation field goal through the uprights away from. Oh, wow. FAU, go Owls, baby. That's one thing. I can make an extra point. I can't do anything else besides that. I coached a kid who's now one of the backup kickers at Central, and the amount I learned of the science behind place kicking in football is insane. It doesn't, having a strong leg is huge, but man, kicking is a sweet science. Ooh, let's knock that over. There's Smith. He's had himself a career 4-year starter. Dang. That's starting as a kicker as a freshman is insane. The fact that's crazy. You rarely see freshman kickers getting the nod, and he's had quite the career. Wait, wasn't he the kicker at Akron? Garrison Smith? Like not this year, last year, wasn't he that Akron? Yeah. Okay. I was like, he. I looked him up. I was like, he looks super familiar. Let's look at. He was at McNeese State. He well traveled. Career long of 57 yards in high school. Holy cow! Fourth most points in Ohio high school state history. That's crazy. Dang. All right. Let's hope the Red Hawks can get one in here. We're pulling for them. 2x2 here. Hands it off to stop. Hand it off to Brunson. Not much there. They're going to pick up 3. Help you technique. That's awesome, man. That's huge. Soak that up. We have the young man that's at Central Michigan right now. He comes back in the summer and does helps the high school out with kicking. And man, the technique stuff, it's insane how crazy you can elevate your kicking game once you get your technique and routine down. And that is one thing that has always just baffled me. 2nd and 7 here. Has him back to pass. Scott Perry just shy of the first down, 3rd and 1. Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like the right decision and all to bench Gostkowski. Not much different, but Hesson's got Perry again. Cam Perry, that's the 7th grab of the night. That should take him over 100. Seven catches, 87 yards. And Cam Perry slow to get up there. That's not what you want to see. He's grabbing at the Achilles. Oh, no. Nope, he's pointing to the front of his ankle. He is in Spain. That's not what you want to see. Especially 7 catches, 101 yards. He has been the guy. .43-yard. Hey, doesn't matter if you made it barely by an inch or you made it with 5 yards above the post. Hitting a 43-yarder is hitting a 43-yarder. Three points is 3 points. Cam Perry limping off. I don't know if we'll see him back today. He is limping hard. Going 2x2 here. Brunson to his left. 1st and 10, 8 to go. Play action. That's going to be Cole Weaver. He's got room. Breaks 1. Cole Weaver's going down the field. He's inside the 20. Dang. Safety's brutal. Ball in the 22. Hesson drops back. Throws it up for Weaver. Just overthrew him. How's your school's history in football? Pretty solid overall program or newer program? What's the story there? Second and 10. Queen left here to the boundary. Hands it off to Shante Jones to the outside. He's got the first and then some. He's going to be knocked out at the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Redhawks. That's good. That's all it takes. All it takes to turn programs around is one class. You get one class to buy in, and you can start doing some serious things. Six-yard line, excuse me. 2-by-2 here. Shante Jones still in the game. Hesson drops back, pocket collapsing, throws one up. He'll just throw it away, looking for Cole Weaver. 6:50 to go here. 3-score game, which is really tough. Oh, jeez. 6'2". That's a. You see some guys at the middle school, like grow early and then don't always pan out. But yeah, 6'2", that'll get you. That's gonna be a ball player. Second and goal from the 6 here. Got Weaver. No. Incomplete fumble. What are they calling? They might mark him down at not even the half-yard line. There might be 2 inches between 16th in the state for basketball, too. Great catch by Weaver. Good throw by Hesson. I think he's in. I think that's 6. They're going to take that upstairs. They're going to rule a touchdown. Miami of Ohio got a little bit of life here. Could make it a 10-point game here with this extra point. Kicks up, kicks good, 13-23. Charging Elite Basketball. Good for him. Go ball out, young fella. Charging Elite, I'm assuming, is a travel team. Like I don't know. I figured it's probably called AAU everywhere. That's what we call it in Michigan, but yeah. Our big AAU, we have West Michigan Lakers is the big one. Spark, I think, is one of the names of the other ones. West Michigan basketball is interesting. There's been some guys that have come out, but it's a lot of you get a lot of post guys, not a ton of, but they're undersized post guys. For high school, they're good size. You get a lot of 6'3", 6'4" centers, but it doesn't really translate to the college game. Texas Tech up 34-7. That game winding down. 6:43 left here. Looking at team stats. Miami of Ohio's turning around this half. 17 first downs to Western 16, 260 yards to 360. I mean, finishing the first half, 88 yards of offense, and now having 260. They've had a much better half. Henry Hesson looks like the right move to make at quarterback. One state last year. That's huge. Yeah, we Michigan high school basketball had opening tip off last week for I think almost all schools tipped off last night. High school basketball is fun. It's a fun time of year. Western Ferris, excuse me, now up 10. Start of the fourth. North Central's up. Hillsdale getting falling behind. Let's check FCS scoreboard. Still 21-14, end of the third quarter. North Dakota State up. Montana State up 7-0 on Yale at halftime. Montana up 15-14 right now on South Dakota State, with South Dakota State driving at the end of the first half. Looks like onside kick coming out of here for Miami of Ohio. You kind of thought that would be coming. Nah, recovered. Not a great kick. Western's got it. Still just shy of 7 minutes left in the half here. There is a lot of time. Miami's got all 3 timeouts. Yeah. They're debating this onside kick. I would have done the same thing. You got an onside there. I mean, if they get a field goal out of it, it doesn't change any difference. Brock Lowry's going to get forward for about 3 there. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. I have Ohio taking a timeout there. I don't know about that. Last 5 MAC champions: 2020 Ball State, Northern Illinois 21, Toledo 22, Miami of Ohio 23, and Ohio 24. And right now it's trending that it's going to be Western, which 2 teams for 6th last year, and I was center and tallest, but could shoot if need. That's the era of the modern basketball, man. Being able to be the stretch 4 is such a huge position. Being able to spot up shoot as a big fella is huge. Results by this would be Western's second ever MAC championship, winning the MAC championship game. They obviously won 2016. In a close game, honestly, but that was the Corey Davis, Zach Terrell era. But yeah, other than the 2016 year, this is Western's first time since 2000. Third and 4 here. This would be a huge stop if Miami of Ohio can do this. 6:33 on the clock. Use of the timeouts at this point in the game, I don't super understand. They're going to get Buckley. They're going to push him back, but you got to imagine they're going to go for it. 10-point game, still 2 score, even if you kick it through the uprights. I just don't know about the Miami use of timeouts here. Attendance has been down 15,000. I don't know what the attendance is tonight. Here we go. Western is going for it here. See if they just try to get it to draw them off sides. Motion across formation. They're going to hand it to Buckley. No, Buckley's going to keep it. Oh, and he throws it over Bosma's head, though. He had Bosma wide open. Free first down and possibly more. Throws it over his head, and we have ourselves a ball game. Classic, great fourth down play. You run the play action. You have a leak coming across from the backside tight end. Georgia's in the SEC, Georgia Tech's in the ACC. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Same with Miami. What are they doing? What is Miami and Florida State doing in the Atlantic Coast Conference? Almost picked off on the first play there from Miami, Ohio. That's the thing with conferences, though, that are so frustrating is they just don't make sense. Like, if you're going to do things by location, at least be consistent, which they're not. Because that's the thing is the location of most of the MAC schools would be the old Big Ten, but because, obviously school size and all that, separate, but ACC, SEC for school sizes. 2nd and 10. Maybe Gagowski got hurt, and that's why Hessen's in, but Hessen's playing well. That's PI. He got there early. 3rd and 10 coming up. Trying to get to Keith Reynolds. Let's favor Miami. Yeah, Florida State, though. Tallahassee. Sitting at the top of the panhandle. Third and 10. Hessen's throwing one, and he's throwing away. What are you doing? Texas Tech Big 12 championship is finished. They win 34-7. That likely means BYU is out of the championship, and Texas Tech is probably retaining their 4 seed. Yeah. I can't stand Clemson. They're one of the teams I don't really have any rhyme or reason why I dislike Clemson. I just don't like Clemson, but I used to actually when I was younger, when CJ Spiller was running back there, I did like Clemson, but I just did. I don't know. I struggle with Dabo Swinney. He's a great coach, and he's been a great coach, but he just refuses to adapt to the times and then blames the times changing for why they're not winning instead of adapting, which has always bothered me. Instead of making excuses, just adjust and adapt. That's coaching, that's sports, that's how the world works. You got to adapt and overcome, but it kind of seems like he'd rather make excuses. Fourth and 10. Hey, this is the game right here. You got to get this if you're Miami, Ohio. You got to have, looks like Western's bringing pressure coming off the edge. Got to be aware of where number 11 is at all times. Motion to the side. Yep, pick him up. He got off the edge, free rush, and he's going to come up with a sack, and Tucker shows why he is the best defensive player in the MAC. It did feel good for them in Penn State to not be good. It was good for the soul, good for college football to see some new faces. And that might do it. We're going to stick around and see if Western scores in this drive or not. Because football is crazy. Anything can happen. If Western scores on this drive, though, that is going to likely be the game. And that is Tucker's second sack. And what a huge sack it could be. Might be the biggest of the game. Lowry under center. Play actions. Up to the side. First and then some. Yeah, and it looks like the wind might be out of the sails of the Red Hawks here. This record since 2017. I tell you what, I think the future is bright for the Zips. I think they got some stuff going on over there that is going to do them some good. And I think, honestly, Western projected to finish 7th and coming out and dominating this game and having a really, really good season is going to be, kind of a sign. It's also crazy. This is back-to-back seasons now that Miami of Ohio makes it to the MAC championship. This is the third year in a row, but this is going to be the second year in a row that they beat the team they play in the MAC championship in the regular season and then lose come MAC championship. And that's why I love conference championship games. It's why they need to stay around. It's why they need to keep the conferences being a thing and keep them important, because regular season conference championships mean nothing. They don't. They don't. Hand it off to Buckley. He's going to pick up the first. And we're going to check the MAC basketball standings right now. It could, and that's the thing. It genuinely could. Two undefeated teams, Buffalo and Miami of Ohio, are undefeated still. Kent State 8-1, Akron 7-2. About a week and change left. A little more, about 2 weeks actually left of conference play, or of non-conference play, and then we get into conference play. Which I tell you what, Akron basketball, they're legit. They are legit. That was such a good game. The MAC basketball championship. The MAC tournament has been so good the last several years, but the championship game itself, cinema, pure cinema. I really want to see, and I think Miami of Ohio and Buffalo are both surprising me. I thought Buffalo was going to be solid this year, but Miami of Ohio is surprising me being undefeated. Same with Kent State being 8-1. But I tell you what, I really want to see a MAC team get a win in the tournament this year. Yeah. I always forget how big of a rivalry that is. I got reminded of it this year in the football game. Second and goal here for Western on the 11. We forgot Terry Crews went to Western. That's crazy. Terry Crews is a Western football player. Greg Jennings knew that. Western's had some legit. I mean, the MAC itself has had some legit players. It's not just. I love how they show those guys, but don't show Corey Davis or Zach Terrell. Lowry taking it to his left. He's going to be stopped short. It's going to bring up 4th down. And goal to go. 2-minute timeout's coming there. He's a baller. Yeah, Scott's averaging 13 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. Mr. Do It All. He's shooting 47%. Gotta get that free throw percentage up, but he can hoop for sure. That's sweet. That's a sweet follow right there. Well, tell him to take his name out of the transfer portal. I mean, that is the thing with the portal, though. There were a lot of guys in the MAC last year that entered the portal and ended up not actually leaving. So, I mean, Kent State, he ended up being the backup quarterback behind Drew DeShields this year, but Gavin Garcia, or not Gavin Garcia, but stayed around. And, you know, if they don't find a spot that fits them, they hang out and it's not quite over yet. It's even with a field goal. It's 2-possession game right now, and it'll be a 2-possession game if they score or get this field goal. It's 4th down coming up. As it stands, Jalen Buckley is the runaway favorite for player of the game. Him and Tucker. I mean, that's an easy one to me, in my opinion. Buckley's got 19 carries, 193 yards, 2 scores. This might be his best game of the season. Yeah, this is the most yards he's had all year. He's crossed 100 twice. He had 112 against North Texas and 133 against Northern Illinois. Second game with 2 scores, and he's playing with a broken wrist. And he's a junior, so he could be back too. Some comments in this live. Oh, a comment. Now it's 4th down. That was 3rd down there. I didn't. Well, Miami of Ohio's got one last chance at this. On the 1-yard line. He's going to throw that down. This is probably the last drive here. Center at Toledo. Big bang boom. It's an important spot. He was, when Finn was at Toledo, he was legit. Haston's going to be sacked. Third down here. Trying to figure out what the heck happened there. Oh, right on. Third and 18 here for the Redhawks. Minute left in the game. And it is, we are coming down to the last play of the game here, barring miracle. 4th and 18 here for the Redhawks. Here we go. Timeout taken by Western. I'll take their final timeout. Fourth and 18, here we go. This is the ball game. Two by two. Hasn't takes a snap. Pressure's coming. Lets it fly. And it's going to fall incomplete. And Western Michigan is going to be your MAC champions 23-13 over the Redhawks. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Always appreciate it. Everyone have a great rest of your day and happy Championship Saturday.